Is Luke Skywalker post Return of the Jedi stronger than Anakin Skywalker from the prequel era? The answer isn't as clear-cut as you might think, so let's dive into it. Father vs. son. From the moment Qui-Gon Jinn discovered Anakin on Tatooine, there was a strong emphasis on his unprecedented potential. His midichlorian count, a measure of force potential, was the highest ever recorded, even surpassing that of Master Yoda. This suggests that Anakin had the unique capacity to become one of the most powerful force users in history. The prophecy of the Chosen One, which many believed Anakin to fulfill, further underscored this potential. However, potential is just that, a possibility, not a guarantee. Anakin's journey was filled by emotional turmoil, a forbidden love affair, and a growing fear of loss. These elements, compounded by the manipulation from Palpatine, led to his fall to the dark side. Anakin's change into Darth Vader fulfilled and limited his potential. As Vader, he was undoubtedly powerful, feared across the galaxy as the Emperor's enforcer. Yet, this was a different kind of power, fueled by anger and pain. After his defeat on Mustafar and being encased in a life-sustaining machinery, his connection to the Force was inevitably changed and weakened. We never fully actualized the potential he had as a Jedi, and the path he chose led him away from what he might have become. In contrast, Luke's journey post Return of the Jedi was marked by growth and exploration. Although not initially portrayed as a prodigy in the Force like his father, Luke's strength lay in his resilience, his capacity for empathy, and his willingness to learn. He did not have the traditional Jedi upbringings. His training began later in life and was in pieces, receiving guidance from Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda, and learning through his own experiences. After the events of Return of the Jedi, Luke sought to rebuild the Jedi Order and continue to deepen his understanding of the Force. This journey likely took him to various parts of the galaxy, encountering different philosophies and techniques. Unlike his father, Luke didn't have the same raw power from the outset, but he had the advantage of learning from the mistakes of the past. He experienced the entire arc of his father's tragedy and triumph, giving him a unique perspective on the Force, balance, and the dangers of falling to the dark side. In the expanded universe, this led him to becoming an incredibly powerful and wise Jedi Grand Master. In the Disney canon, while his power level might be portrayed differently, he still represents the culmination of the Skywalker legacy and the potential for redemption and growth. Anakin's life in the prequels was filled with chaos and strong emotions. He was discovered as a slave on Tatooine, separated from his mother, and thrust into a life of Jedi, a life for which he was deemed too old to begin training. His experience was marked by inner conflict and a forbidden love of Padme Amidala, and a constant struggle with the rules and restrictions of the Jedi Order. The Clone Wars further complicated his life, exposing him to the horrors of war and the manipulation of Palpatine. These experiences, while making him a formidable warrior and Jedi, also sowed the seeds of fear, anger, and ultimately his downfall. His inability to cope with loss and the fear of the future was pivotal in his turn to the dark side. Anakin's wisdom, or lack thereof, despite being a skilled Jedi, Anakin often lacked the emotional maturity and wisdom that were hallmarks of the greatest Jedi. His decisions were frequently driven by passion, fear, and a sense of entitlement. This wisdom to let go, to understand the broader balance of the Force, and to see beyond his immediate desires was something he struggled with throughout his life. These limitations and wisdom significantly impacted his ability to fully harness and grow his powers in a balanced way. After the events of Return of the Jedi, Luke embarked on a journey not just as a hero of the rebellion, but as a seeker of knowledge and a restorer of the Jedi Order. This period involved extensive exploration, learning from ancient Jedi texts, and understanding different perspectives of the Force. He was not just learning to increase his power, but was also seeking to understand the reasons behind the fall of the previous Jedi Order and how to prevent such failures in the future. Luke's wisdom is rooted to his experience of redemption, loss, and the understanding of the balance of the Force. Unlike Anakin, Luke faced his fears and overcame them without falling to the dark side. He understood the value of compassion, demonstrated profoundly when he chose to throw away his lightsaber and refused to kill Darth Vader, believing in his father's redemption. This level of emotional maturity and understanding of the Force signifies a wisdom that Anakin never achieved in the prequels. In the expanded universe, which includes novels, comics, and games produced before Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm, Luke Skywalker's character was developed in extensive detail. In these stories, Luke's power and mastery of the Force reached almost mythic proportions. He was shown to have incredible abilities such as advanced telekinesis, telekinesis, projection of his presence across vast distances, and even the power to affect matter at a subatomic level. He could heal himself and others using the Force, walk unscathed through lava, and even bring the dead back to life. In battles, he was virtually unbeatable, taking on multiple Sith Lords and other formidable adversaries. As a teacher, he trained a new generation of Jedi, learning from the mistakes of the old order to create a more flexible and understanding Jedi philosophy. His achievements in the expanded universe painted him as one of the most powerful Force users ever to exist. After Disney acquired Lucasfilm, the expanded universe was rebranded as Legends, and new canon was established. In this new canon, which includes the sequel trilogy, Luke is still depicted as a powerful Jedi, but his abilities are portrayed in a more grounded manner. He's shown to be a skilled warrior and a wise mentor, but his powers are not as exaggerated as in the Legends continuity. In The Last Jedi, we see him perform a powerful Force projection, which was a significant feat, but generally, his abilities are shown to be more in line with the grounded tone of the original trilogy. His character also takes a more complex and somewhat controversial turn, as he grapples with the weight of his legacy and the fears of repeating the mistakes of the past. The distinction in the portrayal of Luke's powers in the expanded universe versus the Disney canon is significant. In the expanded universe, Luke's achievements and powers are almost superhuman, placing him far above most other characters in terms of sheer Force ability. In the Disney canon, while he's still revered and powerful, his struggles, failures, and vulnerabilities are given more emphasis. When comparing Luke post Return of the Jedi to Anakin in the prequels, the context of which continuity you're considering becomes crucial. In the expanded universe, Luke's powers and achievements would surpass those of Anakin during the prequels. However, in the Disney canon, the comparison becomes more nuanced. While Luke certainly grows in wisdom and understanding, his raw power is not depicted as being as overwhelmingly superior as in the expanded universe. Therefore, in the Disney canon, the power comparison might be closer, with Luke's advantages being more in terms of wisdom, balance, rather than sheer Force ability. In this comparison, Legends Luke is the clear winner. The expanded universe depicts Luke Skywalker with almost unparalleled powers. He achieves feats that far exceed anything shown by Anakin in the prequels. Luke in Legends continuity is not just a powerful Jedi, he is almost a Force entity, with abilities that border on the supernatural side. Given this portrayal, Legends Luke surpassed Anakin from the prequels in terms of raw power, mastery of the Force, and combat skills. Anakin compared to canon Luke, in this comparison, the winner is more nuanced, but leaning towards canon Luke. While Disney canon doesn't portray Luke as an overwhelmingly powerful being like in the Legends, it does show him as a wise, experienced, and skilled Jedi. He may not display the raw power and potential that Anakin had, but his wisdom, understanding of the Force, and emotional maturity give him an edge. Canon Luke's greatest feats, like Force projection across the galaxy, demonstrates not just power, but a deep understanding of the Force. Therefore, in terms of overall effectiveness and mastery, canon Luke would likely come out ahead of Anakin from the prequels, but that is my take. Let me know what you think in the comments below.